up, Robyn? We are back. It is tea time with Robyn. I am T. She is Robyn. What is up, everyone? I hope everybody had a Merry Christmas. How about you, Robyn? How are you doing?
Great. We did not have a white Christmas, which it's 50-50 here, whether we do or we don't. But it was very nice weather. We're having nice weather. So we'll take that as a Merry Christmas present. And our holiday was very nice. I hope everybody listening to the podcast had a good Christmas. And onward, right? Like
yes. Onward. Oh, so we got to talk about this game. And we are on the Build in Buffalo Network, guys. Go over there, check out some content over there. Amazing content Monday through Sunday. We got you hooked up. We got the hookup for you. I can't talk. Also, too, what's up, Sandra? Good morning.
Hi,
Thank you for stopping in. And also, too, we got some amazing, yes.
Yes.
On the Build in Buffalo Network. Go over there and check out some exclusive content over there. They got you hooked up again. So let's talk about this last game we had against the Bills against the
Patriots.
Thank you. Patriots. So before we came on, me and Robyn do not like Drake Maye. We don't like him. He might be the guy, guys. He might be that guy. Robyn was talking about a pass that he threw to his wide receiver, and it was a beauty. It was right in the bucket, right there.
He's got some moxie. Dude has some moxie. He will stand right with a sieve for an offensive line. One of the worst in the league.
Yeah.
And this guy is a rookie. And he's got moxie.
Yeah.
You know that we did more blitzing in the game because McDermott loves to blitz rookie quarterbacks.
He does.
He likes to confuse them. He likes to throw everything but the kitchen sink at them. And he did. And it did not
nothing.
It
didn't do anything. Like, this rookie is different.
Good.
He's different. He's, like I said, he stood in the pocket, got rid of the ball. He found his tight end, which is a rookie's safety blanket is their tight end. He found beautiful passes to two of his tight ends. So, I mean, it did nothing. The blitz did nothing. I mean, yes, of course, at times he did confuse them, but for the most part, Drake was handling this offense like it was just he was the second year.
Of all the quarterbacks that we've seen filtering through the Jets, Miami, the Patriots, and we've seen quite a few quarterbacks come and go in the last few years for all those teams. This guy is the real deal.
Yeah.
This guy's the real deal. And I hate to say it, but the Patriots have found themselves a quarterback.
Yeah, they did. They absolutely did. Well, let's start with the Buffalo Bills. Again, with the slow start. We've said this time and time again on this podcast that the Bills sometimes, just for no other reason, I just don't understand it. They start slow.
It's been a problem progressively throughout the season. It's actually been a problem in the past as well, in terms of having slow starts. I want to attribute this in part. Let's remember that divisional games are different. And we talked about this last week when we were previewing the Patriots, and everybody had this attitude on social media like, we're going to kill them, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, hold on here. This is a division game. Division games are different. I don't care. I've said this before. I don't care what your record is. I don't care what their record is. When it's a division game, it's different.
Yes, it is. It's
different.
No rhythm. It just seemed like, I don't know, they couldn't find the rhythm. It was like once they found the rhythm, it's like it was gone. It's just like it was just one of those clunky games, to say the least. I don't know. Josh didn't look good. it was a weird game. And like we said, divisions games are just that because they know each other. So it was just they got down 14, Robyn. 14 points.
When they were down 14-0, I was like, I know this offense is really good and they can
Right.
get things back in a hurry. But slow starts to raise my blood pressure too, Sandra. It's not a good thing to go down 14 points. I don't care, what kind of team you got.
Right.
The divisional aspect of this, though, can't be ignored. The other thing that can't be ignored about this game is the cold weather, because the football feels like a rock.
Yeah.
And you could tell that there were times when they were passing the ball where the ball just kind of dropped out of the air. And it wasn't the wind, it was the weight of the ball was just and it's leather, right? So it's hard and nasty feeling when it's cold. And I do think that played a part in why things got off to a slow start. However, Drake Maye in the offense for the Patriots, they were playing in the cold weather as well.
Exactly. And Drake Maye played in North Carolina.
Yes. So am I concerned about this? You bet I'm concerned about it. I'm really concerned about it. That leads into our next topic.
Exactly. How concerned are you about this last game?
I'm concerned a lot, because this repeated pattern of our defense coming out and looking like dog meat has got to stop. Now, I appreciate the fact, and I appreciate the fact that Bobby Babich has a tremendous ability to make adjustments. In the game adjustments, halftime adjustments, superb. All season long, he's made great halftime adjustments. But we can't afford in the playoffs to be that far behind and to be playing like that, because we say this, and I believe it, defense wins championships. When you get into the playoffs, you have to have a defense that can function. You can't just rely on the fact that your offense is going to score 30 to 40 points. You can't.
And okay, on the flip side of that, slow start, concern, ugly game. We won. We have to, and those are the games that you have to win. Ugly games are just that. They're ugly. You find a way to pull it out, and that's what the Bills did. So I'll give them that.
Down KC played ugly all season.
Yeah, and they're 14-1 or 15-1, and we'll talk about that too, because now we're playing for essentially our second seed or third seed, whatever. But yeah, I get it, because it's just like you want. I think we get so hung up on that the Bills have to win by 30 or win 30 points every game. And if it's not 30 points, oh, what was that? Or we need to blame someone, or what are they doing? I mean, I get it. I'm a fan too. But sometimes it's ugly as hell and you just need to win. Just win, baby. Just win. And that's what the Bills did.
And that's what happens in divisional games. A lot of them get ugly because you know each other, right? You play each other twice a year. A lot of the same players are on the same teams year after year. You get to know you. It's like playing your cousin.
Right. Basically.
Right?
You know what your cousin likes to do, and you like, okay, I'm going to stop him from doing that as much as I can.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's the other thing about the Jets game, and we'll get into that later, that scares me in a way, because I'm worried about our players getting injured. And that's the big thing in divisional games, because we know, and the Patriots included, because we play them again in the last game.
Let me talk to you about that, though. Injuries. Okay. What's going on with Josh Allen and his hand, his elbow?
I think he banged it, like you said. And let's remember, he also had that issue with his elbow in the past. And I believe that was the same elbow on his throwing arm. And that whatever they call that collateral.
Oh, yeah.
He had that issue before with his elbow. So I suspect that might be a problem. But here's the thing. Josh needs to protect himself at this point. With these last 2 games, divisional games, please don't run. Please don't put yourself in harm's way.
And he
Please.
didn't, but you know what? Also, too, there was lanes for Josh to run
Yeah, there
this last
were, and
game,
he
and
didn't.
he didn't take it. He didn't take it.
I was glad.
I was sitting at home like he could that punt throw. He could have ran if he really wanted to.
He could have, but I'm glad he didn't.
Yeah. I'm definitely like, run. Okay, don't. Run ahead.
Save it for the playoffs.
Right. If you're gonna do it, yes, do it for the playoffs or the Super Bowl. That's the last game. So I definitely it was definitely a frustrating game.
It was a frustrating game. And I believe that because it's a divisional game, that the next game is also going to be frustrating. And we have to be prepared, because you just said something that really resonated with me in terms of Bills fans. We want, everybody wants this, but if we don't play a perfect game.
Yeah.
We are so quick to jump on blah, 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 blah.
Fire somebody.
Exactly. Fire. And all we do is watch Kansas City play ugly win after ugly win after ugly win after ugly win. And then they get to the point, and I want to ask your opinion about this, but it does happen with them. Now they're starting to get healthy again. Now they're starting to look like a playoff team again. And this is what they do. This is what the Kansas City Chiefs do.
That shit didn't annoy me yesterday.
They bumble their way through the regular season. And by the way, I'm going to go on a tangent here, but to hell with Patrick Mahomes having a high ankle sprain. There is no way in hell he had a high ankle sprain. There is no way in hell he had a high ankle sprain. None. Zero. And you look at the way he was running on Wednesday in that game yesterday. I guess that was yesterday. Holy cow.
Yeah. I know.
It seems like a week. So seriously, though, they needed to stop him, and nobody stopped him. And Mahomes is looking like Mahomes again. And even Travis Kelce is starting to wake up. So
it's pissing me off.
It's pissing me off. It's tough. It's going to be tough.
It's going to be a tough.
Hollywood Brown is back.
Yeah.
Makes a difference.
Xavier Worthy is
looking good.
Although he's looking good. He said he got hurt, didn't he?
Yes. Bills fans, please stop trying to compare draft picks. Because
I don't do that.
Xavier Worthy on the Buffalo Bills may not have been the same player. Okay?
I don't think here's the thing. Yeah. It's just like if you switch your quarterbacks to if you switch Josh Allen to the Bengals, it's scheme.
Yes.
Guys, it's scheme. It's not player.
Keon Coleman, please be patient with Keon Coleman.
Yeah, you have to. Well, Keon Coleman also was hurt. He missed
and he
3 games, and he's not the same. They're not the same players. Body type or nothing.
Rookie, and they hit the wall, and all of that stuff that goes with being a rookie. The things that I see from him absolutely amaze me. I think he has the potential to be a really, really good wide receiver. Now, ask me about Dalton Kincaid.
I'm asking you about Dalton Kincaid. What about Dalton Kincaid?
This has been a very disappointing year.
Yeah.
I expected a lot more from Dalton Kincaid. And don't get me wrong, I know the injury thing, but the best ability is availability. And dude, you have shown that you are like glass when it comes to getting injured, number one. And number two, he's dropping passes that are like right at him.
And he came out the sure hands tight end.
Yes. We were all, I was all over Dawson Knox for dropping everything early on. I'm hoping that the third year is going to be a charm for Dalton, but I have to admit, I'm disappointed.
Yeah, I am too. I'm just and he's a good draft pick.
You know who I like, and I hope they play, and I hope they play him a lot today? Zach Davidson. Please give me more Zach Davidson.
I like Zach Davidson too. Also, we talked about who else we liked. It was Frank Gore. And we're
Yes.
moving on to our wide receiver room, who had 172 yards
Running back.
on running. What did I say?
Wide receivers.
My bad. Running backs on Sunday. I think who won this game on Sunday was the running backs and the O-line.
Totally. 1,000%. Without a doubt. And let's talk about the running backs. I've said this for the last few weeks. We have the 3 best running backs on our team. 4, put Frank Gore in there, that this team has ever had. Ever. And yes. I've watched them all because they are deep, because they could do as much damage with Ty Johnson as they do with James Cook. The difference is in the way that they would scheme it up, right? Like you scheme one way for King James, I'll say. You scheme one way for King James. And that's because he's a little scat back and you do it that way. Ray Davis, you scheme differently. He's a rookie. You know, he's learning how to block and do all those kinds of NFL things. But Ty Johnson, I'm like,
yeah,
sign him.
Yes. You got to
he's got to be a priority.
Let me ask you, do you re-sign James Cook?
No.
Ooh.
Maybe if you can get him on the cheap, but he's going to command a lot of money in the open market and they don't pay. I mean, just look at the history. I'm not saying what I would do. I would love to keep him. I would absolutely love to keep him.
Yes, 14 touchdowns this year.
Exactly. If he wants to stay, and that's a possibility, you know, if he wants to stay, he might stay, because the other thing is the running back market, they don't pay the big running backs. Saquon Barkley maybe, but that's it.
He's no Saquon Barkley though.
He's not Saquon Barkley. So
I would love to have him back.
I would love to have him back. Do I think it's going to happen though? I don't know. Right. Maybe it could though. Now that I'm thinking of it, maybe because there'll be a little more cap room.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, once we get that $30 million boondoggle off the book, you know, from Stephon.
And then I just heard that they're going to be negotiating Josh off season as well. So
yeah, I'm not worried about Josh.
Yeah, that's a given.
In terms of money, Josh is the kind of guy who he will do what Tom Brady did. He will take a hometown discount every time because he wants a good team around him. And you just look at all these guys that make big money. It's tough. I mean, look at where they're at with Trevor Lawrence. They paid him a boatload of money. What about the guy, who was it? Oh, Atlanta, Kirk Cousins.
Oh, and now he's sitting.
Yeah.
Now he's sitting. Yeah.
It's crazy. It's just crazy.
It is. Thank you, John. Please like and share this. Tell someone. Make sure you tell a friend. Just tell someone. We're on at 11 o'clock on Thursdays. We got you covered when it comes to your lunch break or your lunch, whatever. We got you covered. Me and Robyn got you covered. But what I wanted to do, Sandra, thank you. Praying for Tank Dell. That was a horrible. And y'all know, if y'all don't know, some of you guys do know, I had knee replacement. And when I seen that, I said, ouch.
Oh, I bet you just wanted to hurl. I bet.
And it kept showing it, Robyn.
I thought about you. I was like, oh my God.
They showed it 3 times. I said, please stop showing this.
Please.
Oh my God.
It was terrible.
It was terrible. And he just came back from injury.
Yeah. And they said he'll be out all next season.
Oh God.
He did PCL. He did all of his ligaments and dislocated his kneecap. I mean, it's just incredible. And meniscus tears. So that knee. You have to really worry that this might be career threatening.
Yeah.
To get back from that kind of, I mean, that's a total destruction of your knee.
Yeah.
He's going to replace like you.
Oh God. Oh God. Anyway, let's move on to, I don't know about some better things, but our wide receiver room struggled in this last game. And like Sandra had said, they had came out and said they were trying, or Josh said this, that they were saving some stuff for later on, and they didn't want to show everything. They said they're walking a tightrope of what they want to put out there. And I get it, because again, it explains it, because this game was just so frustrating and had no rhythm to it. So you're just like, at the end of the game, you're just like, that offense wasn't the same offense that we're used to seeing, right? And it was just like, Josh wasn't taking underneath. He wasn't running. So it was just like, what are they doing out here? So then when it comes out that Josh is saying they didn't want to pull all this stuff out on tape, now you're like, okay, that explains it, Josh. Kind of, I get it. But still, what's your thoughts, Robyn?
Yeah. I don't, that's my thought. Yeah, they don't want to show things. Ugh. I have a hard time digesting that, because you have to win the game. They were still in it at that point for the number 1 seed. So you're scheming up to win, not to get by. So
right.
That's, that's kind of that's the gist of what I got from it. And I though I get it, I still think, well, you don't have to show what you're going to do in the playoffs, but don't you have anything else that you could show?
Right. But also too, I kind of was, before the game, I was like, okay, if they don't start the 3 guys, maybe they're saying that we can get by with this tight division game without our 3 starters. And it almost bust them in the head, because they almost lost this game. And some people would say, I never doubted that the Bills could win this game, even when they were down 14-0. Okay, praise to you. But when you don't have your 2 starting safeties back there, and then your cornerback, when they practiced all week, and then you're like, no, we can probably sit them again. And another division game is coming up, and now I'm going to be very keen on this injury report to see what they're going to do. But before we move on to that, I don't know how I feel about the whole, let's save some plays for later. You know what I mean? I'm with you with the.
There's got to be something in the recipe book that you could pull out.
Well, they did. Did you see the play when Dawson Knox got the snap and Josh moved and ran? And it's like, okay, I get it. Yeah,
that's interesting. Well, and the other thing is, you could throw some stuff out there as a disguise, right? Like, oh yeah, start showing that you're doing this, and who knows? You
listen. I'm sorry.
Unless got you there, right?
Thank you. And I'll say this, unless you are the Chiefs, because they are known for doing crazy stuff. You are who you are. I'm sorry. This is week 17.
Right.
So now we're going to be a whole different offense now? No. Right? I know you're going to sprinkle in some stuff. I get it. I understand all that. But you are who you are. And I also think you are who you are. You freaking run the ball every time. Hand off James Cook. Every time. I could win probably $100 this season. Josh Allen, hand off to James Cook. First play. It's like, come on. You are who you are. I don't know why you put that up here, Guy, but I'm not reading that. He's got me sidetracked, that particular thing. But let's go on to special teams, because special teams is driving me crazy this season. I'm not to fire everybody. What is Coach Smiley doing?
Nothing productive. Now, here's the thing that I have not heard mentioned about special teams. Smiley, first year, he was like in the top of special teams. Second year, bottom, almost 29. Mm-hmm. So third year, and I believe it was Joe Marino that was talking about this, is supposed to be like, okay, let's see what you've really got.
Right.
We know what he's really got. He puts the wrong unit out on the field. No, you just don't do that. You can't do that. So here's my thing, though. People are like, well, what happened to him? Well, let's remember the first year that he was the coordinator, they had a very different set of rules. They changed the rules. They did a major change in special teams between his first and second year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he made that adjustment well at all in terms of outthinking, outdoing, because they changed the rules so much. Remember in the beginning of the season, everybody was wondering, like, are they just going to kick off? Are they going to,
Right.
what's going to happen? Because all the rules changed.
Mm-hmm.
So when the rules changed like that, I think he did not make that adjustment well. I don't think he's creative enough because special teams requires, I think, coordinators that are special, like
Mm-hmm.
special teams in terms of thinking out of the box. And I would dearly love, and I would dearly love to be a bug on the wall and listen to what Steve Tasker might have to say about special teams. Because if anybody knows special teams, it's him.
Right.
And I suspect he's looking at this special teams unit and going, not so good. And I believe we need a different coordinator.
I do too. I'm with you. You can see that Sean McDermott in his presser, he was clearly upset after the game. He was so clearly upset that his brother called him or texted him and said, "Hey, are you okay?" And Sean said, "Are you sick or are you upset?" I think, or something like that. He said both. So it was clear that even his family members seen him and needed to check on his brother and say, "Bro, you good?" No. So if you can see that through a presser, there's something there. And Sean McDermott, normally when stuff like that happens, and this is not the first time, if it was a Sean McDermott thing, Sean McDermott corrects it, right? But it's something to do with another coordinator. So you're going to have to, some correction is going to be having to be made. And I just don't see Smiley here next year. I don't. Like, it's too many of the mistakes that are happening.
No.
I could not believe they did a fake punt.
Nobody made as much of a emphasis on special teams in terms of coaching than Marv Levy. Marv Levy started his career as a special teams coach. And so special teams was near and dear to his heart. We see Steve Tasker every day on One Bills Live. He knows special teams near and dear to his heart. I believe that McDermott has not placed quite enough attention on special teams in terms of getting it right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he went through a bunch of offensive coordinators before he landed Joe Brady. And Brian Daboll was good, but I will say that I think as a play caller, he's good, but we had a problem with our running game when Daboll was the coach.
Right.
And that is a problem, not to go off on a tangent much, but that was a problem for him as a head coach too, which is probably why Saquon Barkley wanted out, because he was never going to be featured in a Brian Daboll kind of offense.
That's true. That's true. I totally forgot about that.
So there you have it. So here we are, and McDermott has cycled through some offensive coordinators and finally landed Joe Brady, who, God help me, I hope he stays for another year, because he's definitely on the short list for a lot of people, I'm sure. But here's the thing. The running game was so important. And I think McDermott realized that part. Now I want him to have the same aha about special teams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
I'm with
bring
you.
in somebody who's, a veteran special teams coordinator, because we've had newbies for the last couple times and they have not worked out. So why don't we get somebody really good and pay them? It's like Aaron Cromer. Hand him a checkbook, sign.
Yeah, you better keep him.
Yes. And you just hand him you hand Mr. Pagula the checkbook and say this is what we have to have, because I pray that Aaron Cromer never leaves.
Well, I mean, Aaron Corbin also has been around the league as well, right? So if he wanted to be a head coach, he could have been a head coach 2 times or 3 times over. I think he is satisfied where he's at, I want to say. I mean, his daughter also says it on Twitter X that he's satisfied, their family, satisfied where he's at. So I mean,
that's good.
That O-line is playing out of their mind.
And it's because of him.
Yeah.
It's because of him. He knows how to advise Brandon Beane in terms of who to draft. Mm-hmm. He looks for, specific traits. And then he takes each wide receiver and he molds them into being the best that they can be using their skill set, not trying to make them do something they're not good at. What he did, and I was listening, Joe Marino was talking about this, what he's done with Spencer Brown is amazing.
Spencer Brown is definitely a different.
Spencer Brown did not even go out and try to get paid. He stayed. He signed a contract long term.
That's right. Spencer Brown is locked.
He's locked in.
I forgot.
He didn't even interview with anybody because he said, I'm staying. And I know it's Cromer, because Cromer builds these guys up. And Cromer is like a dad to them.
Yeah.
He really is. And
look at Osiris.
Look at what happened to Deion Dawkins this year.
Oh yeah.
He got his little boxing thing going, and Cromer started using those moves to help him. Mm-hmm. Deion is having an all-pro year.
Also too, Deion is involved in MMA.
Yes.
So that's probably also
that's it. That's what I meant to say. That's it. It's those skills that he's learning that Cromer is taking and helping him become a whole level better than he used to be. I mean, he's always been good.
Yeah.
He's been elite this year.
Yeah, this year is different. Deion was good last year. But this year, he said
he was going to raise the level of his game.
And he did. And he did. He really, really did. Like, it's so good. It's so good that what's his name? Bowers. Oh my God, he does the tapes on linebackers and O linemen. Like Brian Baldinger.
Baldinger, yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Brian Baldinger. He's great. He knows
he's great at what he does. Yes, for sure.
Play.
I do want to shout out Cam Lewis for his first interception this game. UB product. Nice guy. Again, I met him. Really, really nice guy. So just wanted to give him his praise first. And then they asked him, since you had your first interception, are you going to play for the DB's dinner? He said, no, I have 2 kids. So hopefully y'all got your stuff, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, he said, no, he's not doing that. But it's time, Robyn. I think it's time.
It's time.
It's for me. Come on, just spill that. Come on, just spill that. Spill that tea for me. Spare no dirty deed. Yeah, tell me everything. Come on, just spill that.
It is time to spill the tea. And John, I did not know this. Where are you at, John? Is John here? No, it's not. So John had said that, I don't know why it's not coming up. John had said that Cromer was also the OC and worked well with Joe. Worked well with Joe Brady. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Cool. Spill the tea. It is time to spill the tea.
You spill first.
Okay. So now I feel sad that he's injured now, right? He's on IR. But listen, I didn't know why I was seeing Bell Inspector out there. Anytime you see him, I'm worried. I am worried. So when he was out there, I said, okay, it's either Dorian or Matt Milano didn't play. So it was Dorian. And I'm like, all right, I'm done with the experience of Bill Inspector. And I know now that you're on IR, so now I feel bad what I'm going to say, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You are like, no, I don't want to say that. But you got to go, buddy. It's just, I don't know what it is. And he's always injured too. So
best ability is available.
Best of luck to you. Yes. Best ability is availability, and you're just not available when we need you. So,
Yeah.
I mean, good luck to you. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's my spill the tea. Oh.
Yeah. I feel you there. And we're going to talk about that a little more after I get off my rant here. My spill the tea is this ridiculous garbage that is all over the internet, people spewing about Josh versus Lamar for the MVP. Please let it stop. Please let it stop. It's crazy. You can use all the statistics that you want. You can twist everything whatever way you want. It doesn't matter. The bottom line is, first of all, Josh Allen deserves the MVP this year. And I'm just going to say that straight up. Lamar, you've had a great year. I am not disputing that whatsoever. Yep. But you have not been the most valuable player to your team, like Josh is the most valuable player to his team. What do you suppose the record would be for the Bills if Josh hadn't played this year?
We got some doozies on here. 4 wins, maybe
4 or 5 wins, maybe.
Yeah.
That would be it. Without Josh, the team does not roll. Yeah. Josh is what makes the team roll, and that to me isn't that how you define most valuable? Yeah. Because King Henry does a lot of good stuff.
He does.
James does too, but not like Derrick Henry. And Derrick Henry offers a different whole perspective. But beyond all of that, I don't care. I really don't care who wins MVP, even if Lamar gets it for a third time. Give me the Super Bowl
MVP
any day of the week, right? Enough. So stop, everybody, please.
Yeah, I'm with you. That's all you see on Twitter. That's all you see when any sports stuff that talk about the football and talk about Josh and talk about Lamar and talk about whatever. Wouldn't it be crazy if neither one of them get it and someone else gets it?
Yes.
Like it just would be that. And you know what? Listen, yes, I want Josh to get the MVP. Am I kicking down the door? And is this what the season is? No, we have other things that I think we want this Bills team to accomplish, and that's going to the Super Bowl and winning it. So I don't care. Like I don't care. I don't care. But not my last question, because we also have to talk about the Jets. But Dorian Williams, are you ready to see him start over Matt Milano? And I love you, Matt. Are you ready?
Yes. And I love you, Matt. I love you pieces. But I have worried for a long time about a tibial plateau fracture and what it might do to his long-term efficiency in terms of his ability to move side to side very well, his quickness, all that sort of thing. I love Matt Milano. Don't get me wrong. But I think easing him in and not playing him as a starter, I think would be a better approach. Let Dorian play. Dorian might be the future at that position.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And I love you, Matt Milano. I love you. And it pained me. It's like when we've been watching Tre'Davious.
Oh, yeah.
It's the same kind of, is he ever going to be able to be what he used to be? Yeah. And the answer, I think, for Matt is, I hope so, but I have my doubts. That was
That was painful.
watch.
That was painful to watch Trey White, because we seen Trey at his healthiest, and he was a baller. He was a lockdown, and I get it. He doesn't play man like that, but he was still, for me, you didn't have to worry about that side of the field because Trey had it. And we had Dane Jackson on the other side of that ball. We had Levi Wallace on that side of the ball. And we knew on the other side, Trey had the guy, like, he was good. So to see Matt Milano going through what he's going through, and we've seen Matt Milano be
a stud, a game wrecker, right? A game wrecker.
Yeah.
And that's what we're not seeing right now. My hope is there's still some rust on there, and that maybe he can work that rust off. But I don't want to see him taking 70% of the snaps. I want to see him taking maybe 20 to 30% of the snaps. And let Dorian play. Let Dorian play.
Because the only way you're going to get any better if you get those reps. So, and I know Dorian is good going forward, right? Not thinking about just going forward. And I know he has coverage issues.
But he's learning. He's learning.
Learning.
He's getting better. He's much better than he was at the beginning of the season.
Getting better with his eyes, and confusion. You can still confuse him a little bit, but not like his rookie season. Like his rookie season, he was like, oh, good, pretty bad.
Completely different scheme.
Right?
Completely different scheme. And so I've always been more patient with him because of that. And I think next year he's going to be somebody that I don't know how you can sit him.
He's just fast. He ran down.
He's big. He's fast, and he's strong.
Who did he run down? Was it Derek? Was it Henry? He ran down someone, stopped him from having a touchdown. So I don't know. I'm in on Darian. I liked him when they drafted him. I like the fact that he was lighter but fast. He's quick. Yeah, he is, and he can. Woo! Yes, he can. He can. It scares me the way he hits, but yes. But let's move on to the Jets, because that's our next game on Sunday. The Jets, and they kept it at 1:00. I'm so happy that they kept it at 1:00.
Oh,
Thank
Lord.
God.
Thank God.
Get people in my house and get them out. Just kidding. Just kidding. Now that the Chiefs have secured the 1 seed, what do you think the Bills are playing? Do you think the Bills play their starters? And if they do, for how long, Robyn?
I think they play their starters for a short time. Josh will start for sure because he has that streak. He has a record streak of starts. So I don't think that they're going to want to take that record away from him. So even if he just was one drive, I believe that he'll start. As far as the rest of the starters, well, the defensive line for sure needs work. So they all need to play, and especially Dwayne Carter, because he needs the reps. He absolutely needs the reps.
He was playing so good at the beginning of the season too. And that's what injuries do. That's what injuries do.
The rust is there, and he's got to work it off before the playoffs. So I would like to see a lot of Dwayne Carter. The Dorian, I'd like to see him out there saving Matt Milano, the reps. And I think Dorian's going to play because Matt's still listed as limited. So it's possible that he sits again in this game, and I wouldn't cry about it if he did.
Right.
There's one other person here too. In terms of in the middle, I wouldn't mind seeing a little of Joe Andreessen.
Yeah, he was out there, I want to say, the last game of special teams, right?
He was. He's been on special teams, but I'd like to see him out there on defense some, because what we know, we love Bernard. Don't get me wrong. It's not that I don't want Bernard to play, but Bernard also, he's a smaller guy that gets injured easily. He's a hitter. He's a thumper, but he's not that big. So it wouldn't bother me at all if Bernard played kind of like Josh, get him in and out for a couple of drives and that sort of thing. Let Joe Andreessen play. Let him play.
Right,
We
right.
see Nicholas Moore back again too, and that's fine. But I would like to see Joe Andreessen play. So
And the playoffs, and I know you're trying to lock in the second seed because if we win, we I guess lock the second seed in. I'm at the point to where second seed, third seed, if you're in the playoffs, you're a threat. So that's how I look at it. And get some of these players who hasn't been playing and who you might need in the playoffs, get them some run. Get them some run.
Get some people some rest.
Yeah.
Like old guys like Von Miller, he doesn't need to play a lot.
No.
Rest the guys that need some rest, because the most important thing, I think, going into the playoffs is be as healthy as you can.
Yes. And keyword, as healthy as you can.
As you can.
Y'all know
you're never going to be healthy.
It's 17 seasons. Everybody is hurt. Everybody's playing with some type of something.
But who's going to benefit the most from rest? That's who you rest.
Right. And I think for some of these players like a Vaughn who's older, like a Josh, get me to the playoffs. Get me these last two games. I hate that the division games. I hate that the schedule gods do this because divisional games are rough. They're rough. And when you have a team like the Jets and the Patriots that don't have anything to play for, I don't want to say there's players out there that's trying to hurt players, but when you don't have anything to play for.
Well, let's talk about this a little bit. We don't have to go into the weeds, but there is some bad blood that exists between the Jets and the Bills players.
Absolutely.
Deion Dawkins
can't stand them.
And I'm sure that McDermott has had a little chat with these guys, because the other thing that we didn't talk about that we probably should mention that is a concern are the penalties. Mm-hmm. Taking stupid penalties. Don't do it. Don't do it. And I don't care if the O-line is substituted as well. If Deion needs to sit because he can't act together, and you know that the Jets are going to taunt the Bills. They're going to do that. They're going to try to screw with their brains. And Tyrod Taylor may well be starting the game, which is kind of interesting. And to be honest with you, I dread Tyrod Taylor more than I do Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers has played well the last few weeks. Tyrod Taylor is a good quarterback. Yeah, he's a good backup. And you didn't game plan for a Tyrod Taylor. It's like last year when they put Tyrod Taylor in because of who was out? Jones. Jones was out. No, last year he played for the Giants. We almost lost that game because they didn't game plan for Tyrod Taylor. So Tyrod Taylor can come in and give you some burn. Let me ask you this. Mm-hmm. Do you mind? Sorry, interrupt.
No, you're good.
I want to know if you think it would be worthwhile, because I do, in these last two games. Okay, so you start Josh just so he can get his checkbox. He started. Wouldn't it be interesting to have Mitch Trubisky play one game and Mike White play the other game? Because
I would like to see Mike White play this game.
I want to see him play. Yeah, against the Jets, because he used to play for the Jets. Right. Absolutely. Put him in. I seriously would like to see Mike White play. And the reason is because he's been on the practice squad. This guy has been a starter. He's a very good quarterback. They love him in the room. Mm-hmm. Josh has mentioned that he absolutely loves Mike White. And so I would be actually a little happier if we had Mike White as our backup than Mitch Trubisky. We know what we have with Mitch Trubisky, and he's limited. Mike White is an underrated quarterback, in my opinion. Whenever the Bills have had to play him, whether he was on the Dolphins or the Jets, he gave us fits. Mm-hmm. So I would like to see Mike White play.
I mean, hot take, whatever you want. I could see Mike White being a backup for Josh and Mr. Trubisky be gone.
That's what I'm talking about.
I can see that happening and picking up a rookie quarterback in this draft
for the practice.
Let go of Trubisky
to do that, because Josh is going to be going into his 8th year. Mm-hmm. So yes, I don't think you spend a first rounder and you don't go to the moon, but you find somebody that dropped in the draft. Hey, they did it with Fromm.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he didn't turn out to be the guy, but that's what you've got to do. You continually have to draft quarterbacks until you find somebody again.
Yes.
You end up like the Patriots.
We don't want to go 18 drought. Like, we don't want to do what we did before. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure, of course they're looking. So, I mean, Brandon Beane tells us that he makes phone calls, even if he knows that it's nothing. You're still, as a GM, that's your job. Let me call to see where the pulse is when it comes to your player not being happy, because it just came out that the guy from Cleveland, oh my God, what's his name? Garrett, defensive tackle. Defensive end.
Garrett.
Yeah, Myles Garrett. Oh, you make that phone call. I know. So Dion apparently is recruiting.
Please recruit. Please. He would give us a Super Bowl ring.
What? Robyn.
He would.
Myles Garrett on the Buffalo. I can't even go there because I'm going to get excited. I'm going to get into. I'm going to get too excited. But John asked if Kingsley Jonathan would be called up.
He might.
Is he on the practice squad?
I thought so.
Okay.
He let somebody from the practice squad go, but I forgot who it was, but I don't think it was him.
No, I don't think it was him either.
Kingsley Jonathan, if he's still on the practice squad, yeah.
Yeah.
Call him up. Oh, it was Cameron Klein that they released. They release these guys and they tell them all, stay ready.
Be prepared. I might call you back.
I'm calling you back and forth. How many of those practice squad guys? They're back and forth. Forth.
So before we leave out here, I do got the Bills beating the Jets. I just think, even though the Jets has been playing better, they have been. And if the Bills do, I have them beating the Jets. I mean, I'm sorry. Just have them beating the Jets. I don't even want to go there. But I don't think Rodgers is back next year. Do you see him coming back to the Jets next year?
No, not even. No. I think the Jets are done. I think the Jets want a clean house. I think they're going to bring in whoever they want in terms of their coach and general manager, and they're going to let that, hopefully if they're smart, which they aren't usually, but they would let the new regime pick their own quarterback.
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully our safety duo play, and if not, I mean, just to get some burn, I guess, because they have not played the last 2 games, right? Yeah, Detroit and then this game.
I'm very interested to see what Cole Bishop, how he progresses, because Cole Bishop was a 2nd-round pick. So I'm ready to start watching him.
Yeah. Well, I know he's improved since game 4 to game 16. So
he's another one who was in a completely different defense.
Yes.
And so people need to be a little bit more patient, because the safety position in McDermott's scheme is very complicated.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that is it, folks. I think we did it. I think we we did everything we needed to do for the Patriots game, and the Jets game is just a Jets game. You know how that goes. But it's another game for the Buffalo Bills and the Buffalo Bills fans. Again, 1:00 on Sunday. Guys, thank you. Always showing up, always commenting. I don't know what happened to our comments. It just froze on me. So if I did not address them, I'm sorry. I tried to get on the Facebook over here to address some of them. So, yeah. So Sandra said, praying for a better game on Sunday so I don't have to. I get it, Shan. I'm the same way. It's like, please come out fast.
Yeah, because the first couple of quarters in that Patriots game, I was like,
Yeah. But always, guys, it's always go Bills and always showing up, guys. Thank you. We are on the Building Buffalo Network over there.
We'll have our last podcast next Thursday of the 2024 year.
Yes. So peace out, y'all. And always,
Bills.
Wait a minute. I'm
not
ready.
Music.
I'm not ready. I'm never ready. Yes, so now I'm ready. So like always, guys, go Bills. Peace out, y'all.